And I'm crying. I don't know why. I don't know. I'm very touched by things like that.
You're very sweet.
Well, let them look at you. That's what they want to see. They want to see Judy Garland. You know, all of us have given our hearts to you so many times that you have permanent possession of it. Can we talk tonight about anything, about silly little things?
Yes, anything you want. Anything you want.
This is, someone's going to call this, review this show, they'll say, Punchy and Judy. Now what? They'll do I know those cats, you know. But anyhow, what a great laugher. She laughs, boy, at red ties, they say. She laughs like an old...
I laughed at this one.
Come on.
No.
Boy, you sure got over Norman Maine in a hurry, didn't you? Oh, boy. Hey, listen. She has the greatest stories, and this is one of the great talkers in show business, but no one ever heard her talk. I mean, no one professionally. Listen, tell them about the days at MGM. There's some of the stories about Mickey and Liz Taylor and those people. Just to tell the stories you want to.
Well, I hardly know where to start.
Tell them what you said about Liz.
Well, no, it wasn't anything like that.
No.
As you know, she's this marvelous sort of femme fatale.
Yes.
I can always just remember her as a girl with a lot of chipmunks and horses, and she was only about 3 feet high and 2 years old at Metro. I can't imagine this marvelous sort of Cleopatra. She was, you know, that shows my age.
Well, Liz has grown up.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. But I laugh. She said, Liz, she always thinks of Liz Taylor with chipmunks.
Strange group, you know.
Well, what was in that group?
Well, it was a terrible classroom in the first place, when you think of all of us in one group. With Elizabeth Taylor in a schoolroom, you know, we went to school. There was Elizabeth Taylor, and we did, believe it or not, and Lana Turner, and Mickey Rooney, and Freddie Bartholomew, and me, and Deanna Durbin.
That was one room?
In one room, that was all it was. And
well, you all turned out swell. What happened at Metro? What did they do?
I don't, that was...
were you kids scared? Were you scared?
No, not at all. We were fine. Have you seen us since we've come out? We were a very peculiar group. Lana kept excusing herself every 5 minutes by having to raise her hand in school to go out and smoke. You know.
How was Mickey?
And he went out and smoked, too. We all did.
Well, how far did you go to school in that kind of system?
We went to school clear through the...
High school?
Yeah.
Is that right?
Yeah, we got old enough, they finally sprung us. We didn't pass.
Did you kids know when you were that age, and did you know you were big stars, or was that kept from you? Why were you frightened? Because you were frightened.
Yes, terrified.
You were scared. Who were you scared of? Everybody?
Everybody.
But didn't you know you were big stars?
No, they didn't let us know. We were kept under wraps.
Who else do you remember? Listen, how'd you start? Did Jessel really give you your name? Jessel?
Yes, he did.
He says he does.
Yes,
did he?
He did. He gave me my last name.
Her name is Frances Gum.
Yeah.
Frances Gum, yeah. Isn't that right?
Yes, that's right.
Now, tell me about were you good in vaudeville?
We were terrible, tell me.
Yeah, who was in it?
My 2 sisters and my mother and myself. We were in rotten vaudeville, too. Not good key time or Orpheum time or anything. We were in lousy vaudeville where we were in between the switches. They'd show a movie, you know, and then throw on a lot of acts. Yeah. And then show the movie and then throw on. We were part of that type of vaudeville. We were terrible.
Tell me a story about Happy Harry.
Oh,
I know. Come on, they want to hear all the stuff I hear.
Oh, well, we did this. My 2 sisters and I did a tour in throughout Washington and Oregon, all the rotten cities, all the little cities, not the main cities, and they wouldn't let us in. But we did. It was a tour, so the acts stayed together for about 6 weeks. And there was we followed a miserable comedian, most depressed comedian I've ever known, called Happy Harry. And he used to come on in 2. You know what that means. The curtain is quite a ways back, so that there's a lot of room. And the music would start. His entrance music was sort of There was only 3 pieces in the band. Only 3. There were piano, drums, and some violin or trumpet. So it was an empty pit with just 3 pieces in it. Now, Happy Harry would wait in back of the curtain, and the manager of the tour would make us wait all the way through Happy Harry's act to make sure we were ready, you know. So we watched this poor thing every night. And they played... And he'd break through and say, hello, everybody, this is Happy Harry. And he'd go on to the most terrible stories, and we were... Well, this one time, I think you still want me to go?
Oh, yes.
Well, this one town we hit, they put him in 1 instead of 2, which meant he only had that much space, you know, between the pit and himself. So we were in the wings, as usual, the Gum Sisters, and when music went, and he went, hello, everybody, right into the...
It's more.
He fractured his leg in 3 places very badly. And we were in the wings. Can I stand up?
Sure.
We were in the wings, just standing, and the manager said, go on! So we had to sing Dinah. You know, we went, Dinah, is there anyone? And this poor thing in the pit was going, there.
Oh, Happy Harry. He probably has his own show in the daytime now. One of those quiz shows, I bet you. Listen, what was I going to ask you about... well, you weren't really a good act in the beginning.
We were terrible. We weren't at the end. We were terrible. We were always kind of...
Were you jealous of Deanna Durbin? Would you kids get along?
Yeah.
Because you were both competitive like mad.
Yeah. I was very jealous.
Were you jealous of her?
Yeah, not for long.
Oh.
Yeah. But because the only reason I say that is she came to Metro originally, you know.
From Universal?
Yeah, no, she came to Metro first and then went to Universal.
Oh.
And when she came to Metro, I had just gone out of vaudeville and I thought I was sort of hep. And in came this girl with 1 eyebrow. It never stopped in the middle, it went right across.
What happened?
Very low. And I thought, well, she's nothing. It was a I was pretty, and then they fired her, and they were going to fire me because I didn't know what to do actually with 13-year-old girls, 12-year-old girls. There was no such thing. You either had to be a munchkin or you had to be 18 or something. There was no in between. So they fired her, and I thought, well, you know, that's all right, I'm going to. They don't know what to put. Then they picked her up at Universal, and suddenly she was the most beautiful, glamorous girl, and very talented.
Yeah, I liked you best, though.
You did?
Yeah.
You just like jazz instead of opera.
No, I don't like jazz much.
Thanks.
But no, I just liked you.
Did you, darling?
You tear my heart out, you know? It isn't hard to tear it out, incidentally, but boy... No, there's a wail in your voice that just moves everybody.
That's very nice.
It's very moving. I remember your first picture. You were on a band concert, right? Is that true? Is that right?
With Deanna Durbin. It was opera versus jazz. Called
Was
every
she in it
Sunday.
too?
Yeah, every Sunday.
Yeah, well, I was in love with you.
You were?
Yeah, and that song, Dear Mr. Gable.
Yeah.
Yeah. And to me, you'll always be... And to me, you'll always be Dorothy. Little Dorothy. Hey, tell me a story about how those clowns tried to crowd you out in The Wizard of Oz.
I don't dare. You're terrible.
You knew that when I came on. You know, everyone knows I'm terrible.
Well, you mean Jack and Bert?
Yeah, how they crowded you out.
Well, they're my friends now, but then they didn't know me. Well, yeah. But,
how old were you?
I was about 12. No, I was older than that. I was 14. They tried to make me look 12 in many different ways. But they didn't quite make it.
I'd know you're 16 or more now. I just figured that. You got a lovely need, you know that? You always did have lovely
need.
Cover it a bit. That dress is becoming a blouse, isn't it? Hey, tell about the Wizard of Oz.
Well, we were... we were...
Oh, I love her.
I had to work with three very professional men, you know, Jack Haley and Bert Lauer and Ray Bozer. And they had so much makeup on, you know. Then one was a Tin Man, and one was the Scarecrow, and one was the Cowardly Lion. And they were so busy complaining about their makeups, and each one was making bets as to which makeup was the most difficult, and they all gained weight all the way through the picture, you know, and they all pretended they just... but whenever we do that little dance up the yellow brick road...
Yeah, I remember that.
I was supposed to be with them.
Yeah.
You know.
They'd crowd shut.
They'd shut me out. They'd close in, and the three of them, and I would be in back of them dancing. I wasn't good enough, you know, to say, wait a minute. Now, and so the director, Victor Fleming, was a darling man. He was always up on a boom. Would say, hold it, you three dirty hands, let that little girl in there.
Boy, I wish you'd come on the show every week and just talk. I told you, hey, look what I've done for Hugh Downs.
Yeah.
Oh, I got him on early, didn't I? We'll be right back after this message from Kimberly Clark. Oh, big boo. Listen. You gonna sing tonight?
I would like to sing. Would you like me to sing?
You know... Because if you don't sing, we're out those two guys holding up those cards out there, aren't we? There's a song. There's the people who wrote this Gay Parade, the music, Hip Yarburger.
No. Start again.
Yip Harburg.
Right.
But what did it used to be?
Yip. What was it, I wonder? Yip Harburg.
Oh, I can't believe he changed his name from anything else.
Well, he wrote the words. How could he write that name?
Did he write Over the Rainbow?
Yes.
See, he wrote all of our great songs, and he's written some great songs in this new picture.
Gay Parade.
Yeah, Gay Parade.
Plug.
But the song I like the best, I think, is Little Drops of Rain, and I think it has the quality of Over the Rainbow. Did you hear about the producer who was fired?
Also, you must hear first.
What?
Forgive me for interrupting.
You
First
must never interrupt me.
The first you must mention the man who wrote the music, too, Harold Arlen.
Harold Arlen. I used to love him in all those airplane pictures. Anyhow.
That was Richard Arlen.
Richard Arlen. Oh, yeah. Well, this song has all... Did you hear about the producer who wanted to work with you and got fired because he wanted you to open with Over the Rainbow? He wanted you to walk out, sit down, and open with Over the Rainbow. That's an inside joke. And I see it stayed inside. Yeah. Anyhow, this is a great song. I'm telling you. Now, don't fool around when I tell you something. You know that Little Drops of Rain. You ready?
Yes, I'm ready.
Listen, tell them that crazy story about Orson Welles.
Oh,
She's got the greatest stories in the world. I let her talk.
Oh, no. You mean the one about the opening in Washington? Well, do you want me to?
Sure, I want you to do that.
You wouldn't... Well, Orson Welles is a great friend of mine, and when he first started in the theater, he did all weird plays, wonderful plays, but he used platforms that came up out of nowhere and revolving stages and all kinds of things that hadn't been done before. And they were doing some very extravagant play. I forget, I think it was a Shakespearean play. Matter of fact, I think it was a combination of 3 Shakespearean plays. And at one point, he had 50 soldiers with crusade outfits, you know, with the helmets, march onto the stage and with bows and arrows, you know, and they pulled their bows and arrows and shot the arrows into the wings where there was a big board, and it had all been all right, you know, all during rehearsal. And they opened in Washington. It was very, very formal opening with lots of senators and little old ladies, and there was a black tie, and these 50 soldiers I had to stand up. 50 soldiers came marching out, you know, and they stood and pulled their bows and arrows. And just as they pulled the bows and arrows, somebody pushed the button to turn the revolving stage, and 50 arrows went into the audience. I've never seen such people saying, let's get out of here.
He's a marvelous
Oh,
talent.
he's marvelous, yes. I remember one, can I tell one? Oscar Levant, you know. Oscar.
Oh, yes, I've had the pleasure.
Oscar Levant came to Paramount Studios to make a movie, and he always wears a blue suit that he's worn for about 108 years, you know. It's the same blue suit and the same dark tie, black tie. And it was his first day at Paramount, and he was sort of shuffling along, you know, with his pigeon toes and wondering what stage to go to and so forth. And he saw in the distance a great big man come out with a Hawaiian shirt on and white pants and sandals and big black glasses, 8 scripts under each arm, and a bunch of secretaries in back with papers just flying left and right. And as this group drew nearer to Oscar, he realized that it was Orson Welles, you know, with the Hawaiian shirt and the goggles. And he didn't say anything, he just looked. And as Orson passed Oscar, he looked at Oscar and said, hello, Oscar, I hear you've gone Hollywood.
Hey, tell us some of the stories about the concerts you've done, the crazy things with the microphones and all, like tonight.
Yeah. Well, let's see. Well, you know, I did all those concerts. I did 43 concerts in 43 towns, and so it got to the point where you just got into town and hit the hotel, and then I would lie in state like Stalin, you know, and not talk, and then hit the theater and sing and get out, you know, before they caught us. But we did one thing. I think you and I went. We played Houston, and we had curtains that parted in the middle, you know. And there were 2 stagehands walking the curtains. You know how they have to walk the curtains out around the bandstands. And this little old man, he didn't like me or anything because he wanted to play gin, obviously, with the rest of the musicians, the rest of the stagehands. And, oh my, and he was standing, waiting to walk the curtain, and I had finished part of my show. The curtains had closed, and he was standing, waiting to open them again. And I said, open them. And he walked back, and somehow he managed, as he was walking, to get caught. And he just kept rolling up and rolling, you know. And he got all wrapped up in the velour. And I didn't see him, and I had about 3 more numbers to do. And David Beagleman and Freddie Fields, my darling managers, were backstage. And
the man was yelling, wasn't he?
The manager. No,
was he yelling? Was the old guy?
I couldn't hear him. I guess he was.
You didn't hear him, but he was yelling.
He was in pretty freedom below.
He was all wrapped up.
So they rushed up to David and said, how much longer is she going to be on? And they said, not too long. Don't worry about him. He'll be all right, you know. And I sang, terrible. And I sang for about 32 minutes, and I went off for about, and I looked down, and there were these little feet, and one hand, and just a voice going, and I said, what the heck is going on? And they said, never mind, go back on. So I went on. Well, and needless to say, at the end of the concert, we unfurled him. We threw him out by unwrapping the curtain.
How old was he?
He's about 68.
Oh, wow. Probably the best action he's had in a long time. Even at 68, he's a little velour, you know. It's something, you know. Oh, Jeff.
Oh, dear.
We'll be back after this message from Block Drug.
I love it, darling.
So nice to see you.
Oh, it's so nice to see you.
It'll be nice for folks back in, put this down.
What's that?
I don't know, something from Doc. Well, I could think of a lot of things, you know. There you are, sweetie. How nice. Now, everyone, and we haven't seen you for 7 months.
I know.
And they love you here. They've been good to you, huh?
Huh?
They've been good to you here.
Oh, they're always marvelous.
At the Palladium?
Yeah.
You love the Palladium?
I love the Palladium. I love London.
Well, you should.
I love you, too. Yeah. And I love everyone here. I think they're marvelous.
We had better announce our engagement. No, we better not. I don't think we better do that.
No, it would look bad.
I think so,
around.
yes. People don't like that kind of thing. Tell me, see, they don't understand how we do the show. We just keep talking with no script.
It's agony.
See, I should quit, but I can't. I'm a big star, you know. I really should quit. I ask you some questions. How does it feel to have lived these years being a legend? How?
Well, it's peculiar. Because I'm supposed to be a living legend. Is that right?
That's what it
But it's lonesome. Because everybody thinks of you as, the Statue of Liberty or something like that, you know, that doesn't breathe. And so no one calls you on the phone and asks you to dinner or anything. You just I'm sure she's busy. Oh, we must call her. So I just sit by the phone.
Did you go to the Dietrich opening the other night,
Yes,
Marlene?
I did.
What'd you think of that?
Well, I thought, well, first of all, I had a terrible thing happen.
Wow. What more terrible thing could happen to you, Judy? I can't think. I mean, what would be the next thing?
No, I really am, I'm inclined, or things happen to me, or I bring them about. I don't know. I couldn't care less. But we were in a great big Rolls Royce, you know, drawing up to the front of the theater for Marlene's show. And there was a chauffeur driving the car, and Mark Heron said, would you pick us up backstage after the show? Now, in the meantime, there are all kinds of people lined up along the sidewalk, and I was being, I was just showing off, so So anyway, I was sort of bowing, getting ready to get out of the car. And we got right to the place where we were supposed to get out, and the driver put his foot on the gas, and away we went. I didn't get a chance to get out. He thought that he was supposed to take me backstage. I wasn't in the show. It was Marlene's show. He was very confused. But then we had to go around lots of blocks and all things and come back again in front of the same people and do the...
You know, when Richard Burton, who was absolutely magnificent, one of the greatest moments I've ever known in the theater, the greatest moment, opened in New York in Hamlet, I promised my little daughter, when she's 15, I'd take her. And so we rented a limousine, and I got a evening jacket, which I haven't worn since the inauguration of 2 years, almost 4 years. And I wore it, and just my daughter and I went. And I said, Randy, now when we enter the theater, or get on that street, the crowds behind the barriers will wave at your papa, because your papa's well known, and they'll wave. And so what you do is wave back nicely, because if it wasn't for these people, I'd be back in the tire business or something. So we enter 46th Street, and there's enormous, thousands of people behind police barriers. I'm ready to do my little Prince Philip wave, you know. Not only did they not recognize me, one woman, I swear to you, broke out of the police barrier, followed the car all down 46th Street going... I swear.
Oh, well...
You wonder why I'm a little nervous at times, don't you?
Isn't that strange? Why would you do that?
Well, I gather it's rather it's an opinion.
Maybe it was an affliction of hers.
Maybe. Maybe. You were telling me, was it last night we were talking about Marlene's album? That
yes.
is a funny story.
I don't mean this harshly. However, I was in Paris with some friends. I was with Noel Coward and Jeanette Spanier and her husband, and we were just sitting around in Jeanette and her husband's sitting room, and in came Marlene, and she'd been doing a tour of, oh my goodness, many
Moscow,
countries.
Denmark.
And she came in with a great big record, you know, bigger than a 12-inch. It was about a... And she said, "Oh, darling, hello. How... Would anybody like to hear my record?" So we all said, "Sure, we'd like to hear your record." What are we going to say? "No, we don't want to hear your record." Of course we'd like to hear your record. There were just 4 of us there. Marlene was 5. So she put the record on, and it was just applause.
She jumped around and showed you the applause.
Well, she'd show me, you know, sometimes the applause would vary. And then she'd say, "That's Frankfurt." It'd be like that. And then there'd be great, and "That's Berlin." And, you know, but not one note of music. She didn't sing. There was no orchestra, just applause. And Noel turned to me in the middle and said, "I hope there isn't another side to this." And there was.
Your impression of her is funny because Judy was saying that Marlene starts so low, and then the song has to go lower, and you wonder how possibly she could ever make it. Doesn't she on some songs? You know, she starts low.
Marlene isn't one of our better singers, but she looks so marvelous, you know. But I've been looking at her for, well, you know, there's not much difference in our ages anymore. But she brings hers down, and I try to retain mine. At any rate, there's this great big overture always, you know, and all you do is sit there and you think, "Oh boy, she's going to come out looking great." And the main thing is that she does. She always looks marvelous. And it takes hours with seamstresses. And so forth. She looks great. And everybody goes, "Oh, my goodness. Oh, isn't she beautiful?" And then she sings a ballad. A sad one. And then it goes to a sadder song. And she always talks about all those songs she did in movies. I think she got a few of mine in there, too. My goodness.
I see you found work back there. Listen, your knees are over the rainbow, sweetie.
This is supposed to be the new knees or something.
Well, honey, that's almost a thigh, I would say.
Well, I don't know.
How nice.
It's not mine.
Well, it's whoever it is. How are you, darling?
Fine, darling.
Yeah, I'm glad you're here. I'm glad you're happy and smiling.
No.
I was with her the other last week in Hollywood, and she can be in some of the most tragic situations sometimes. And I said, and but then she'll say, you know, no matter how bad things are, and I waited for the rest, you know, no matter how bad things are, she said they can always get worse. And somewhere behind every cloud,
there's a lot of rain.
Oh, but we're going to have fun tonight. We're going to talk. Because no one can tell show business stories like Judy Garland. We've done shows in London, and we've done them here. And she has this
lost more friends.
Well, I suppose. Did you ever hear from Dietrich after you told that story?
No, I never heard from her. That was my idea.
How about, do you ever hear from Deanna Durbin?
No, but her eyebrow is still around somewhere. She had that one thick eyebrow that wouldn't quit. Everybody, look.
She has just one eyebrow that went across.
Just straight, you know, just like a caterpillar.
Oh, is that... What'd you call her in those days when you...
Harry.
No. No, what'd you call her? I mean, in those days.
Edna May.
Listen, now, all right. So now you're discovering they put you in pictures. Now there's there's Mickey Rooney and is Lana Turner there yet?
In school.
Yeah, and now they're on the MGM lot. Now these kids had to take regular lessons, do so many hours of work, run on the set, and this one used to run and do her little lessons and then run on the Wizard of Oz set. And then have to read her lessons to Bert Lahr, who was a lion. And he would help her with the lessons. Well, can you imagine what kind of education you're going to get doing history with a guy who has whiskers? I mean, it's absolutely insane. Tell them about Lana Turner and Mickey. Come on.
What, you mean in school?
Anything.
Well, it was an odd class.
They were an odd
Yes. Freddie Bartholomew, myself, and Edna May, Durbin, and Mickey Rooney, and Lana Turner. And we had a school teacher that wouldn't quit. She was so mean. She scared us. Yes, terrifying woman. And Mickey always wanted to smoke. So he raised his hands so he could go to the gentleman's room, his little boy. Then Lana went out and smoked with him.
Lana and Mickey were smoking?
Yeah. And that's about all. I just burned inside of the schoolhouse.
Well, was it strict? I mean, did you actually graduate?
Yes. Oh, yes. Huh? I graduated from university, high school.
High school.
Yes, with strangers.
Was Mickey fun?
Mickey was not.
And what was Lana like then?
She was wonderful, too. They were smoking all the time.
No wonder Mickey never grew up. No. What about, did you recall when the beautiful little thing came in, Elizabeth Taylor? Did you like her, Liz?
It was a chipmunk she had.
Liz had a chipmunk?
Yes.
Is this true now? Because you put me
called
up.
Nibbles.
Nibbles?
Yes.
Let's hope it's Nibbles.
Nibbles.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Oh, no, darling.
Yes, and so what did Nibbles do?
Not much.
He didn't do much. And everywhere she went, she had this little chip. Everywhere she went, Mary had her little chipmunk, huh?
Elizabeth had her little.
Did you like her then?
Not very much.
Didn't you like her? You weren't so crazy about her, huh?
No, she doesn't have very good manners.
Really?
No. But and she's a bad voice.
Her acting voice, you mean?
Yeah, somebody told her to breathe all the time she's talking.
Yeah. Well, all right, tell me that. Well, then who'd you like? Who'd you like then?
I liked Mickey Rooney. I liked Mr. Mayer.
Did you like Mr. Mayer?
Yes. I did. I really, no, he's a very nice man.
He was nice to you?
Yes, he was a very great motion picture maker.
Did you like Jackie Cooper?
I didn't know him.
Didn't you know him?
No, he was on another lot, 2 blocks away.
Oh. How about Freddie Bartholomew? You know, he works in New York in an advertising agency.
Yeah,
would you ever see any of these people?
Well, no, they wouldn't let us get together.
They wouldn't?
No. They wouldn't let us know we were a hit, either.
They never let you know?
No. We found out, though.
Yeah. Hey, how about on The Wizard of Oz? Now, that picture, they show it once a year, and it must cost $300,000-$400,000.
Where's the money?
Yeah, well, I know. Do you get a penny of that?
No.
Oh, I see. Well, what about the Munchkins?
Yeah, how about the what?
The Munchkins.
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 Yeah. Well, what the Munchkins do?
Well,
They're little
were
dwarfs,
very tiny.
Huh? Yeah?
Yeah.
Were they little kids or were they little men?
They were drunks.
They were little drunks?
Yeah, they were.
What they, you got me stuttering. What did they do? What did they do?
What did they do?
What the dwarfs do?
Well, one of them, who was about 40, a gentleman asked me for dinner, and I couldn't say, I don't want to go out. I can't because you're a midget. I just said, no, my mother wouldn't like it. And he, come on, bring your ma, too, you know.
How big was he?
About 2 inches high.
What could you do with him?
I don't know.
What could he do? I mean...
Oh, I don't know. They did a lot because...
There was a lot of them.
Oh, hundreds of thousands. And they put them all in one hotel room. Not one room, one hotel in Culver City.
Yeah.
And they got smashed every night. And they'd pick them up in butterfly nets. whip in their nose, and then come on. Oh, poor things.
Yeah.
I imagine they get residuals.
I wouldn't. What else are we going to talk about?
Well, whatever you want, darling.
Well, let's see.
We can always go back to Marlena
Oh, Marlena.
and her
Boy,
applause record.
But you are going home now, aren't you?
No.
You are. Yes, you are.
You're going home.
No, well, we're going home together.
All right.
And,
I don't want to go home. You go home,
well,
I'll take over here.
No, I want... I got to do a commercial. I got to do a commercial.
All right, I got it.
And God bless you. And take good care of yourself.
You too.
All right.
Goodbye.